Ooh. Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Embraced, your favorite little guy, doing what he does best. Moving up through the world, moving and shaking, taking his time, being where he can be, where he is, where he will be. And we are back on our little single player creative world. Not creative. Creativity world? This is the place where I dump my ideas, where my headspace manifests physically. And last time we did a beautiful, lovely, jubbly job of making a house for our nether and got split in half. And I just wanted to say that you guys are wonderful. You guys are absolutely the best. Speaking of wonderful, world wonders. The seven wonders, the seven deadly sins. What am I saying? You guys are wonderful. Like the seven wonders of the world. And thinking of the seven wonders of the world, I want to build one of them. Because I've been thinking about them. And it's been on my mind, something fierce. Building some very unique architecture stuff. Because I have been thinking that I build kind of small, generally. Like, if left to my own devices, or if I don't have a large picture in my mind, I will build really tiny builds, and I want to build something wonderful, just like you guys. I want to build something fantastic, and that appeals to my desire for a really cool build, really big build. And I actually wanted to come over here and show you the sick nasty area that I have pre-planned what we're going to do. Because like the seven wonders of the world, they are what are the seven wonders of the world? Hold on. That's right. I couldn't remember any of the ones other than the one that I wanted to build. They are the Great Pyramids, the Lighthouse of Alexandria, the Colossus of Rhodes. Just wonderful, beautiful manifestations of humanity's great desire to make things that will outlast themselves. And the one that I want to focus on today is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Because I am a sucker for that design. I have always kind of had this like recurring desire to build a Hanging Gardens in Minecraft, just because I think the game lends itself to that stylistic choice so much, and I think that the game carries that weight really well, and I wanted to do it justice because I've done it in the past. I've done it like multiple iterations of the idea and concept, but I think that the game has aged and we've gotten enough blocks that we can have a genuinely really cool build that is not just large but aesthetically appealing. I think that'd be cool. So I think I'm gonna take a chunk out of this mountain, and I think we're gonna build it here because I really like this middle part, like kind of how it's between the bay and the ocean. And I think this will be really cool. So let's get started. Bye. So what do you think of when you think of the Hanging Gardens? Probably not much, because they do not stand today anymore. They are pretty much completely removed from the face of the earth, but we know about them from recordings and stories and tales about them from travelers to these areas. Or you may not think about them at all, because why would you think about the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? That may be a pastime that only is contained to me. But I present to you my Hanging Gardens. And I think that I did a fine dandy job of capturing exactly why I love the concept of the Hanging Gardens so much. It's overgrown, it's green, but it's still bright. It's not completely bogged down with plant life. It is walked by human beings. It is used as a garden itself, not just for beauty, but for utility. And let's just come on up through the water pipes. We're gonna make our way in to the first layer, which is all potatoes. Ooh, I didn't clean up. But this first layer is just gonna be potatoes. I was wondering why I wanted to do it this way. I initially wanted to do carrots, potatoes, and wheat in like a triple tier system. But then I was thinking about it, and I actually do want to produce an obscene amount of potatoes because I don't have a other way to produce bone meal in this game. Because I couldn't find a skeleton spawner, and I'm not the biggest fan of making generic mob grinders. So what I want to do instead is overproduce a food resource that I'm not going to use, so much so, and use it that way. Because, and my doubts confirmed this whenever I went on to this layer, the carrot layer. And it is, also I just love this texturing. These 4 blocks, I feel like were made to go together. Like, I don't know why, it just looks so lush and pretty. So cool, so cool. I wanted to have pots around to kind of get the feeling that water is collected from this flowing water and used to water the plants or used for other things that water is used for. But generically, I realized that this is so many carrots. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, and I'll show you in a second, that this is more carrots than the potatoes produced below. Which would make sense, it covers such a wide area. And then up here, we just have a small little wheat field. Just for me, just for fun. Just because I will need it in some capacities for target blocks, for hay bales, for animal breeding, all of that. I will eventually need wheat, so I decided that I would get some. And then we're gonna go up here, which is honestly my favorite part of the build. This is a custom tree that I made. I am not the biggest custom tree maker, but I'm very proud of how this turned out. I had this idea for a while of using candles to recreate the flowing effect of willow trees. And I think that I nailed it. Being underneath it, I always find that this is a trouble of mine, of like enjoying things that are really artfully crafted. Because whenever I really enjoy like looking at them from here, like this perspective of really close up, but I also love looking at them from far away. And I think I found a nice compromise in this, because the candles they lose the willow effect, but when you're in the tree itself, you still have the overarching leaves, the tough as bark and coloration, and the lanterns to kind of just bring a little bit of life to it. I love it. But the candles kind of just act as like a little bit of nuance and environment. It kind of feels like falling leaves, like our new falling leaf particles. Ooh. But it is something I'm quite proud of, and I think it looks amazing from afar. Like that. I love that. This build took a lot of concepts that I have seen in other builders and watched them use, but I myself have never used. Like using the concrete powder as a grass substitute. I really love that, and I wanted to find a way to integrate that. Or the use of fences in your trees. And then also using grass to add kind of a toughness to the textured feeling of the tree. I think it really adds. And I've also been seeing a lot more builders use candles lately on my feed, and I am absolutely in love with them. They're not my favorite thing to gather, but using them, I think it actually adds so much. So now I wanted to show y'all just like one harvest of this area. Because it's decently large. It's not the largest thing you've ever seen, but I'm one person. This is just for me. And I made a little storage area just to show you that. One harvest produces 16 and 5 stacks of potatoes, as well as 13 poison potatoes. Because, you know, they're in the game. May as well remember them. And then it also produces 9 and 15 rows of carrots and a little extra 30. And this one's going to be a little bit more important, and that's okay, because I will probably be using these for golden carrots, for horse breeding, anything of those likes. I will want to have a large source of carrots anyway. So this worked out for my benefit. And then, just a measly little amount of wheat. More seeds than wheat, to be honest, but when is that never the case with this kind of thing? It is really odd to me that they made wheat seeds so abundant when farming wheat, but it's also not the end of the world. It's not crazy. But I'm very happy with how this turned out. And now we have a way to give ourselves a constant source of food moving forward. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.